Hello and welcome to another review of a bunch of fake figure arts. All 6 of these boxes are all fake. Some of them I do still have. Some of them I have the originals I'm going to compare them to. Some of them I don't, but they're still going to be pretty obviously fake. In previous videos we looked at some real bone figures, and those bootlegs seem to be quite well, especially the first batch of Cougar ones, except that the Cougar Amazing Mighty still use the Rising Mighty logos and stuff, so that's incorrect. And the Cougar Ultimate one seemed to have a downgraded joint that's just not as good as the other ones. But you know, the Rising Mighty one is a pretty good bootleg if you want to pick that up just for spare parts or something. It's pretty good. We also took a look at a few other bootleg figures such as Akuma from Street Fighter, which was decent enough, as well as a Fires figure that was just absolute garbage. So I am expecting these to be absolute garbage as well, but there might be some useful stuff we can get from them, maybe. So the first dead giveaway of any of these is they're all missing the Bandai Tamashii Nations foil sticker. You can see on the top corner there, as well as missing the logo of Bandai and all the other logos and small prints down there, and it doesn't have the 20th Kamen logo on these, even though some of these boxes have it, so I don't know why those are missing. And another dead giveaway is all of these boxes use a shiny layer on top of the cardboard, where something like this has a smooth matte finish to it. And more often than not, these boxes, the plastics aren't folded too well, but these seem to be okay, except the Gaim one that's really folded not too well. So on the back of the box, they removed the SHF logo and just call them all Legend Creation, okay. And at the bottom of the box, they replace all of these actual information and barcodes and stuff with some generic stuff. And the box has actually moved a little bit. You can see here the white area has gone up, and they just remove all of this text from the middle. They pretty much removed most of the Japanese, except for, you know, this duplicate logo thing that they've done at the bottom. And so it looks like the barcodes are the same, even though they have different numbers, so who knows. So let's follow the order of appearance, starting with Deno. I don't have the original figure anymore, but I have a pretty good memory of it. Plus I did that big review of pretty much all the Deno figure arts, so please check those videos out if you want to see actual figure arts Deno. And yeah, of course I upgraded to the real bone version, so I no longer need this. So oh, there we go. Okay, so another thing, no instructions. Backing card is just white. I can't remember if these 20th Heisei ones use white backgrounds or not. The display stand is a flat piece. There's no place for you to put in the Tamashii Stage Act handle or no stick in the back. This one's just a piece of sticker, whereas the regular one has a piece of cardboard where you have a thing that goes on top of it, like a little clamshell thing. And then here, okay, we have the figure, and it seems to be copying everything. So here we go. Oh, there's tape on these. Didn't I open this? Yeah, I opened this once before. So one of these things that these bootlegs often have is that these trays are not molded properly, so they always use tape to secure it, because otherwise they don't secure properly. And let me just remove that. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. It's a bootleg. So they still bother with this plastic sheet, maybe to cover up how bad it is. So okay, let me see. Taking a close look at the hands, they seem to be painted. Okay, yep, this tray is absolutely useless. They put some plastic sheet here to stop the hands from falling out, probably a good thing. Let's see, painted accessories, not bad, not bad. These look pretty good. Plastic is pretty solid, that's good. Taking a look at the sword, it's also not bad. I mean, for older SHF, compared to older SHF, plastic feels okay. Overall paint job's pretty decent. The silver's a bit wonky on the blade itself, but yeah, you know, not bad. If you've lost your original one, this is a decent substitute. The train pass itself also looks, well, pretty decent. Okay, figure out the plastic baggie, and oh boy, here we go. Definitely feeling the bootlegginess. Now, since the real bone version has come out, the original version has gone down in price quite a lot, and that always happens when the upgraded version comes out. So in terms of price and stuff, you definitely want to consider it. If you can't afford the real bone one, just trying to get the old one second-hand market, because you can probably get it at quite a decent affordable price. So I'd definitely get that instead of getting this one. Okay, so first glance, the shiny compound eyes are decent. It looks about right. The paint on silver is a little bit rough, a little bit darker. The head's painted okay actually, and on the back there, a bit of a smudge, but you know, that could happen on real stuff. But hey, there's less quality control on bootlegs and stuff. Moving down, the transparent red on the belt is decent. The buttons are all painted, so far so good. I think the red is a bit on the flatter side, like it just feels darker overall, but unless you have the original one to compare right next to it, you probably can't notice it. So, first glance, this looks okay, but the movement does feel off. So neck is very, very stiff. I wonder if I can pull the head off. Oh, it is a ball joint, but it just feels very stiff. So, last time the thighs one, it was mostly the same, exact same mold as the original. They just copied until the hip part that's a bit different. Oops, I bent that a little bit. That's my fault. See, shoulder pads, these are stiff. Oh, really stiff. This one's popping out. There we go. The bootlegness is coming in. Don't know what's going on with this shoulder pad. It looks really weird. That's not right. It's okay. Can he move his hand up? No. Yes, kinda. That feels, yeah, it feels really bad to move. Upper shoulder, double elbow, tummy joint. Okay, I guess. This leg thing is really stiff, but you know, it's moving. This on the other hand is a bit loose. Foot is a bit loose, but it's moving. Does have shoe pattern. Toes are stuck. Oh, yep, that's come out. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna probably move the toes eventually, but that's the paint stuck. So, yeah, Next up we have Gaim, and yeah, whatever to stand. Open this up. Come on. That's one annoying thing with having sellotape on some of these. They're just really annoying. So here he is, Gaimu, and he has 8 extra sets of hands, just like the original. This plate's come out, and whoa, that looks very different already from the original. So let's just pull those out. So the real one will always be on the left, and the bootleg will always be on the right. Okay, so comparing this to, the first obvious bit is right smack in the middle. Not sure what that huge blob of silver paint is for, and if you look at the side, the sticker is also completely illegible. I cannot see the Gaim logo or anything on it. It just looks like a complete blur, and overall the silver paint on the rest of it is also a bit iffy, and the back of the molding is slightly rougher compared to the original. You see this one has a few bumps. You can see with the bootleg there's a few bumps on the end there, and this one's not put together too well. And the overall look is, again, if you don't have the original to compare, it might be okay, except I can't see any of the sticker details, and it's obviously a bit falling apart. Over the orange plate, the paint is absolutely sloppy, and the overall mold on the top of the orange piece is, well, that's not painted properly again. The silver is just super duper off. Let's see how well this plugs together with the other one. Well, at least it does it. And no, this does not come with a closed orange. Then again, I'm not sure if the 20th anniversary one did come with it. So I'm just going to get the official closed orange Loxy to see if it will fit into the Muso saber. So let's try to get this orange piece out. It's glued down. So the lock seat on the bootleg's belt is actually molded as part of the belt buckle, so there's no lock seat swapping or putting in weapon stuff. So I put the official one in here, and yeah, it fits. Okay, comparing these two, the coloring is just not as nice as the original one. Taking a closer look at both, you can see that the orange is slightly deeper on the head, but on the torso it looks a bit faded, and the colorings just don't quite reach the edge. Like all of the lining seems a little bit blurred. Not enough black on the top of the armor there, and the silver lining also seems a bit off. The little knifey thing does move just like the original one. The sticker detailing is much more simplified on the lock seat. And unlike the sword, I can actually see Gaim's face on this belt there. Moving down, the gold lining on the legs does seem to be doing quite well, and the overall gold coloring seems okay. A little bit darker, but otherwise painted good enough. Okay, in terms of articulation, they've once again actually copied the original figure for the most part. So his head can really go back to this thing. So a lot of rotation there. The shoulder pads do go up and down, seems okay. The body also moves decent enough. I guess he can't really lean back, so that's... yeah. Hands seem fine, rotate, double elbow. These feel very wonky, but they work. I think these joints just unplugged in all the way. I don't want to bother trying it, the molding seems a little bit off. Same with this knee, it just looks wonky. Like it's not... just not right, it's not molded in properly. Again, they did copy the actual hip joint, so that's nice. Feet feel a little bit loose. You're going to have a hard time posing him. He's going to be one of those figures that likes to fall over. The belt stuff here is very tight, I guess, so that's good. By the way, notice I feel really bad paint splodges on this figure, so yeah. Next up, drive. Base plate. Okay, open this up, and you got the forehand stuck in there just like in the original, but of course there's no weapons or extra ties with this. There wasn't the 25th anniversary edition anyway. And this thing is already fallen out from his belt. So in terms of accessories, I mean, we don't really have any with him. Oh, that's supposed to be glued down, but it's not pegging back in. There's no glue, so I'm not going to bother. It's staying there for now. So okay, forget about that for a sec. He feels also quite loosey-goosey. Yeah, let's just take a closer look at these little shift cars, because we don't have any extra ties to look at anyway. I'm gonna guess they might be glued down. So here are the little shift cars. Okay, so if I compare these with the original, the whole molding shape is just not really there. Like it's more of a gummy version, candy version compared to the original. The shape's just all blurred out. Like it's sort of there, like if you shot sighted or something, just overall blurry. The coloring is also slightly wrong. The purple's darker. Actually, all of the transparent ones are a bit darker. Do these cars come out of the thing? Yes, they are built as a different... they're molded as separate pieces of plastic, so they do come out. And there's a little peg in there, just like in the originals. But once again, everything's just blurred, and all the track details on the inside of the shift car holder is just non-existent. Okay, starting from the head there, the logo is printed on his forehead, but the silver and black paint is pretty much just missing and wonky on the top. The compound eyes look pretty decent, I guess. The piping there, it is painted. Oh, in terms of molded detail, all of the tiny pipes and little details behind the pipes are all missing on the side of the head. The transparent red is also not as transparent or clear on the back, and once again everything just seems a bit blurred out. Might as well take a look at the rest of the back body where all of the other pipes and tubings are, and yeah, everything just looks like a bit of a smudgy mess. The little transparent lights on the shoulder pads are also missing. Moving down the torso from the front, it does seem to be a bit okay. The black's way more shiny than the official one. And moving down to the shoulder pads, once again, just a bit more blurry, for just slightly more wonky. Looking at the belt buckle, the logo is also smudged and looks like a gummy. And moving to the side where the shift car is, it's not painted in metallic color, and once again, it just looks a bit like a mess. So for articulation, this figure feels bad, really. I can totally feel it. The head is okay, like these two parts are okay, but these shoulder pads, they're very, very loose. And this joint right here is actually coming off very loose as well, so that's falling off. This shift card does come out, but it's so much paint on it, it's mostly glued down by the paint. Once it's out, it's really hard to get back in because there's so much glue in the way. And moving this seems okay, and the elbow here seems okay too, and the hands also move. Oh, it feels like I'm gonna break the plastic. Yep, that's rotating, but yeah, squeaky sound, not good. Legs, they use some weird combination of their weird joint with the official one, so not sure what's going on there. And then the knees, that's just weird, and the legs are very, very loose. I had a hard time standing him just for taking the photos, so yeah, it's gonna get annoying very quickly, very, very soon. Next up is Grease Blizzard, and actually bothered with some extra plastic here. Well, that's not stayed in, so whatever. Let's see if we can go back in. Yeah. Okay, so that's right. Okay. So just look at these side by side. The coloring seems okay. The red is a little bit deeper on the eyes, but the overall paint job coloring seems, yeah, just fine, I guess. There's not really any gradients. The black lining on this is actually also not quite bad. There's a few smudges here and there, but overall the paint job seems to be decent. Even the print on the side is pretty sharp. It's not quite the same, not as dark as the, you know, not as, opacity is not as good as the official one, but overall the coloring seems again pretty decent. Okay, quick look at the back, and the transparent bit looks a bit wonky. It's doesn't have the color shading as the official one, but overall, not too bad, except that it is constantly falling apart. This back piece here, yeah, that likes to come apart, so you get to see that head, which you might want to. This hand is also very loose. You see that round peg there, that's come off, and oi, 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 oi. But on closer inspection, while the paint job isn't too bad, look down there with this piece there, it is a single piece. It does not open apart. You cannot transform it like the official one. There is a bottle in there that you can remove. So that's loose too. This handle comes down, so that's nice, I guess. So when you take this off the handle on it can rotate, so you can hold it in the fist, but the bottle is glued down in there and this thing doesn't open up, so it's not accurate for the belt itself. You can see the belt buckle there, all that detail is completely removed, just a blur, round piece blur there. This handle supposed to rotate, but it's way too stiff. Oh, and this joint right here, yep, that's loose too. So let's just go with articulation. So yeah, whatever. Head rotates a bit, very stiff. These two pieces rotate too, again quite stiff. These don't really want to go and dig back in just like the official one, so the shoulders are very obvious. Like these don't go in. Rotation here is loose, to say the least. Would that plug back in? Yeah, there we go. And the hand is so loose too. So, and the belt is belt joint area. This is, yeah. So, I mean, that moves, but you know, it's going to pop off. And this joint here, the armor piece, is supposed to move in and out to get out of the way. That's gone. So, I don't think he can, you know, bend his tummy forward. In fact, he just pops the joint. Leg joints here, using that weird joint. I can't move his legs out. That's as far as it'll go. Going forward. Actually, can it go forward? It feels like I'm going to break the plastic again. Rotating joint there. Can it? Whatever. Knee joint. Foot is a bit loose, and that's a weird blue right there. Very obvious joint. And the toe joints, again, that much like other ones, they're pretty stuck the first time just because of the paint. So yeah. Next up is Wars, and I don't have an official one to compare this to, so oh well. First look at his weapon, also comes with 2 extra hands. So most of these figures seem to copy all the accessories that come with the official one. So extra smaller blade here for this to rotate and have the question mark. And you know, it works, this thing's secure and tight. You know, can rotate in and out just fine. The sticker detail seems clear enough. There's a really crappy red effect going on. It's like they tried but gave up. The green looks nice, black looks nice, and plastic is not the best, but I guess it gets the job done. The eye transparent seems okay. Torso also seems okay. No sticker detailing in there, but this thing does move if you want it to, and has an open watch right there. He's got these watches on the side right there, and the logos they're printed are pretty sharp and detailed. He's not falling apart or wobbling too much. I mean, his knees seem a little bit weak, but otherwise seems to be doing fine. And the overall coloring and paint detailing also seems pretty good. So, moving over to articulation, let's see, this is probably where he starts falling apart. Let's find out. So head's a bit stiff, but the collar is really in the way. These shoulder pads, they move out the way, I guess. Oh, there we go. So this one's just a ball peg instead of a hinge or anything, so this one just plugs in. There's not much room for it to move, that's as much as it'll go. Oh, there we go. This joint, I think it's just a paint, but it's rotating okay now. Oh, there we go. This one rotates. Hand seems to move okay. Torso, back. Oh, move too much. Come on. Oh. Yeah, let's move that back in. Come on, get the belt back on. Let's see. Well, at least there's a satisfying click. So, yeah, moves a bit. Legs can go out, so they didn't mess with the joints there. And knees okay, a bit loose. Again, toes are very stiff and legs are okay. So, yeah, he's not bad. Oh, one thing is, I'm pretty sure the watches are glued in. Okay, so entire figure is covered in a baggie again, and on the back you do get its sword and all of the different hands and stuff. And the hands actually don't look too bad if you need them to replace any missing official ones. It's maybe a possibility and stuff. The silver painting is a bit on the thin side. There's a weathering effect that they've done on the black areas. It's not great. The sticker coloring is a bit different, more light blue, so probably a cheaper print. The gold is okay, I guess. And yeah, this little clock thing does rotate just like the official one. And overall, it does look okay. Again, it is a replaceable item if you lose the official one. So the overall color of the figure is very close to the official one. The mask is a bit darker than the official one. And it seems that they've placed the watches in the wrong position. And you also have the same watches just like the official one. The barcode is actually printed quite nicely, but just overall paint is painted a bit more sloppily than the official one. The transparent plastic on the belts there is far more transparent than the official one. And with the official one I have added stickers to the watches and stuff, so that's no different than, you know, that's not a kick on the bootleg, because those stickers I added myself. And overall the detailing is all there, much like the official one. And in terms of one thing you have to note is that the ZO watch itself is on the closed position, and you can't, you know, twist that. So you're gonna have to, like, I don't know, cut it or something and just remove the glue, because it's glued on pretty tight, and somehow fix it. The DK watch there was also glued on pretty tight. I was trying to find out if I can remove it or not, just swap something else onto there, and you can, but you know, once it's not glued, it's quite easy to pop off. In terms of articulation, it is I think all the same pretty much as the official one. Everything seems to work. It's just everything's a bit feels more springy, spongy, just a bit loose. Legs can't go out that far. That's the difference. So the hip joints are different compared to the official one, but everything else seems to be copied. And I don't know why they do that. Like some of the other bootlegs, they copy the official like hip joints and stuff, but since some of these they don't. I don't know what makes them decide to do that. So yeah, everything just feels a bit more on the wiggly, flimsy side. But otherwise, for the price you're getting for the price you're paying for, it's not too bad. So overall, one of the common things I've noticed across all of these is the inconsistent joints. I mean, some of them are okay, but a lot of them just either a bit too loose or a bit too tight, and it's just a bit all over the place. And another thing I noticed is a lot of them seem to manage to copy and include everything for the most part. All of them managed to include everything that's included with the official releases. So in terms of accessories, it's well all there. So in terms of the most pointless one, it would be the Deno one, because like I said, once the new versions come out, the old one's honestly not worth that much anymore, and you can get it for relatively cheap. So with Deno, I'd say just get the original one. With the Grease Blizzard one, I'd say, look, if you need some parts, the painted stuff and the molded detailing is okay here, but I only recommend getting the Grease Blizzard one if you know how to do basic customization with figures, maybe replacing some of the joints, super gluing some of the parts together, or if you have the official one and you're missing something, it's okay to scavenge some parts from this figure. The DK figure is pretty decent, not many problems with it except for a few inconsistencies and the overall just slightly crappier version of the official. If you can't afford the official one for this price, it's okay. Wars is pretty excellent, aside from a few hiccups here and there. It's a fun toy to play with. Again, if you can't afford the official one for this price, the Wars is a pretty decent figure. Gaim, I'm not so sure. Overall, again, it does look okay for the most part. It stands and functions okay. Nothing was falling apart except depending on how much you can get the original one for. I don't think it seems to be expensive in the shops, at least in Hong Kong, but online for secondhand sellers it's not that expensive, so maybe go with the original one. The drive one, the joints are quite loose, the shift cars don't look quite right, the detailing is all missing. Again, unless the official one is far too expensive, I'd say stay away from this bootleg at all costs. But overall, these are all just I hate the Grease Blizzard one because that pissed me off during filming this because it kept falling apart, but I don't hate these as much as the Fies one from before or the Build one from before. These look like a step in the right direction, so kudos, I guess. Subscribe, suggest, and comment below, guys. Take care, have a nice day. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye now.